Real simple, beginner-friendly shoulder mobility routine to shake out the stiff bits. Let's wiggle. You don't need any equipment for this jazz, just a body, ideally with some arms, and maybe a little bit of space on the floor, but you can do this first bit standing up. I'm just kneeling down because then I fit in the frame. We're gonna start off by taking our shoulders for a spin. It doesn't matter if you go backwards or forwards, all you need to do is spin, like the saucy windmill you are. I've decided to go backwards, and hopefully, as you may have noticed, I'm going really nice and slowly. We're aiming to be in control and feeling a nice stretch when doing these jazzy shoulder swings rather than windmilling like you're trying to fight me. I want you being like those anticlimactic wind turbines, just the ones that are actually moving. If anyone can actually explain to me why there's normally one wind turbine that just isn't spinning, despite there being the same amount of wind, I'll love you for it. As you probably learned from me during this, I'm awful at counting reps, so I actually have a timer down there to keep me honest and accountable. And we're pretty much going to do everything for a minute. Now, ideally, you're just going to be working through the movements with me at your pace, but not trying to match my range of motion, just working within what I'd say your painful range, your pain-free range of motion. Now we're going backwards, we're gonna go forwards. We wanna work in a pain-free range of motion for all of these. Now you might find some bits, if your body's a little bit sensitive, maybe your shoulder's feeling a little bit niggly, might be a tad painful. A little bit painful is fine. If a doctor was going to ask you on an arbitrary pain scale how hard or intense it would be, well, you to imagine nothing more than a 3 out of 10 pain. If it goes over that, just reduce the range of motion and don't go as far. I don't care if you're wiggling your shoulders around like this, like you're trying to give me a hug. But as long as you're moving your shoulders, I'm happy, happy, happy. Now, I said I was going to keep a timer to keep me accountable, and I've already lost when we started. I think we've got 20 more seconds of these. We're just gonna keep on going. And again, if you feel like a nice bit, you're like, oh, I feel a nice stretch around there, hold it, take a big deep breath, tell me to shut up, and just do your thing. It's gonna be the last shoulder circle, and I want you to spread your arms, legitimately like you're gonna hug me this time. I'm gonna do some shoulder flossing. Now I want you to think about rolling your hands forward, trying to take your shoulders as far forward as you possibly can and letting your chest fall down. You should feel a nice stretch all around your shoulders, maybe around the rib cage. Hold for a second, and then you're going to twist them back the other way as if you're lifting your palms to the ceiling. Go as far back as you can. Again, feel that stretch. We're going to use our breath loads for this. Obviously, I know you use your breath all the time to survive, but we're going to hopefully use your breath to expand your rib cage, which is all around your shoulders. Going to get a nice little stretch all up here. Use your breath, exhale, go a little bit further, and then drop your hands, tilt them forward, do the same the opposite way. Again, we're staying loosey-goosey for now, just moving through these motions. Oh, I think we may have been a minute, I'm not really sure. But once we've done our minute, you might already be thinking, Adam, my shoulders are already getting achy. If you need to take a little bit of a breather, a break, shake it out, you do it at your pace. That's happy days. I'm sweating already, and I think we're like 3 minutes in. I'm gonna be a mess by the end of this. I'll be like Lee Evans. So next bit is same position, but instead of us going same hands at the same time, we're gonna go the opposite way. So test of coordination now. One hand's gonna go forward, the other hand's gonna go back. Look like you're doing some saucy dancing. I've never seen anyone in my life dance like this. As you can tell, I probably don't dance. I do dance, just not very well. I'm just gonna go the opposite way around here. Again, when you feel this stretch all around your shoulders, and what you think about really moving your shoulders, not just moving your hands. Take a big deep breath, sigh it out and try to twist it a little bit further. And again, we're just gonna rotate between these positions. You can go as fast as you like within reason. Just not trying to like motor through this. Just again, feeling a really nice, saucy stretch. Okay, my arms are getting really tired, so we're gonna stop there. We're gonna take a little bit of a break, and we're gonna move on to the Tspine CAR. Anything that's called CAR just stands for controlled articular rotation, not brum brum kind of CAR. And it essentially just means taking your joint through a circle that it's supposed to go through. Now for this, if you've got something like a pillow, medicine ball, you can hug onto it, but I'm just gonna hug myself lovingly. I hope you do the same. Now from here, what we're basically doing is trying to take our rib cage in a big circle. So I'm gonna start off by tilting my rib cage down to the side. It's actually helpful being on your knees or sitting down when you do this because it's gonna stop you moving so much from your hips. And then you're gonna think about rolling forward, still about, and then you're gonna curl around all the way to the other side until you get here. And then you're gonna push your chest out, bring your rib cage back, bring your shoulders back, and then rock over to the other side. And that's one circle. I'm just gonna keep doing these sort of tilty, circly, majiggy things, feeling a nice stretch all around the rib cage. My door's deciding to open itself, probably gonna close itself in a minute. And once we've done these for a minute one way, we're gonna go a minute the other way. Oi, oi, oi. Having something in front of you and squeezing it in is gonna help basically expand your rib cage at the back when you have big breaths. So it's really helpful if you do have a pillow. I'm not prepared enough apparently. If you've got a pillow, something, squeeze it in, tilt to the side, roll yourself forward, roll around to the other side, rock yourself back, squeeze, take big breaths and relax. Now we've got one way, we're gonna go the other way. You may find when you're doing these, you're like, God, going one way, it's absolutely easy. But as soon as I go the other way, it feels ridiculously uncoordinated. I find that with this. I think we all have like a preferential side, which is like totally normal in life. You know, I'm right-handed, I write with my right hand. You may write with your left. We can still be friends. It's normal to have asymmetries, but I think what's good is to make sure that we're still exploring both sides. And if we find there is a bit where you're like, oh, that feels a bit sticky, maybe that's the wrong word, a bit stiff, a bit clunky, spending some time practicing those movements, even if they feel a bit alien, is only going to positively benefit you. So we've got about 20 more seconds of our CARs. Hopefully your rib cage is feeling nice and lubed up. And once we've done these, you notice again, I'm going slow. Like the whole point is to just get things moving, but I'm trying not to get too tense. Not trying to fight tension with tension at this point. I'm just trying to relax and breathe through it, which is really hard when I'm talking to you lot, but I feel like it'd be quite awkward if I do this in silence. So next bit, you can do this bit kneeling, standing. I'm gonna take it up a notch and get on all fours, oi oi. And we're gonna do some shoulder blade CARs. So basically circles with your shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are amazing little blades of bone that sit on your rib cage and they'll glide over your rib cage as you wave your arms about to help keep your shoulders from flying off, literally. So I'm gonna get on all fours. Essentially what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna take my shoulders in some big circles without bending my elbows. Now I'm starting off going backwards. I want you to just try follow along and hopefully this feels nice and intuitive for you. Again, going really nice and slow. Oh la la, that feels delicious. And once we've done a minute one way, we'll go a minute the other way. But if you're looking at this and you're thinking, Adam, I just can't for the life of me do that. That feels impossible. Try do it like freestanding. Having a little bit of pressure on the floor makes it a little bit harder. You may find this a little bit easier. If you're still looking at this thinking, Adam, how are you doing this weird voodoo with your shoulders? We're gonna break it down into 4 simple steps. Now, if you've done that one way, go the other way. But simply, you're gonna pull your shoulders back and then you're gonna shrug them up to your ears. You're gonna push your shoulders forward and then you're gonna push them down. And you're gonna break it down into those 4 stages. Back, shrug, away, down. Back, shrug, away, down. And you can eventually, over time, start to coordinate the movement so that it's one smooth circular motion rather than being 4 clunks. If you struggle with coordination with your shoulder blade, this is like a massive low-hanging delicious fruit that you can grab on to improve the function of your shoulders, just getting a little bit more coordinated with the shoulder blades. And obviously you don't need any equipment, just arms. Again, if you've got floor, this is just gonna make it a little bit more challenging. We love a little bit of a challenge out here, but not too much of a challenge because who's got time for that? Let's be real. So just take your shoulders through these circles, start to feel a little bit loosey-goosey. If you find you get knots around your shoulder blades as well, this can be an amazing way of just loosening up. You can do it while you're at your desk, you can do it on the floor. Amazing. And now we're done then, we're gonna stay on all fours. We're gonna do some needle threading. So again, while you're in this position, all I want you to do, get one hand and just reach it between the gap of your hand and your leg until you feel a bit of a stretch in your back and your rib cage. Big breath, exhale, and then you're gonna come back. Delicious. And then we're gonna go the other way, just because, you know, I'm not gonna look at you for a second. Are you guys gonna be all right? Do you miss me? I'm glad I find myself funny. Somebody has to. Okay, back this way. Again, we're not trying to reach stupidly far. We're not trying to get all tense when you're doing this. You just feel a nice little stretch and then come back through. I kind of understand why it's called threading a needle, but I feel like if it was threading a needle, the hole would be this big because threading a needle is a difficult skill. Oh, again, this should feel really nice. If you're doing this, and again, I mentioned it earlier, you get into a position and you're like, oh God, I feel a nice stretch there. I should maybe make this a thumbnail. Feel a nice stretch here. Take a big deep breath. Sigh it out. Sorry, I just breathed into the microphone and reach a little bit further. You'll find using your breath, especially as, we can stop now. You'll find using your breath, especially as you're stretching anything around your rib cage, it's gonna help expand your ribs, obviously, because that's how breath works. And just get a nice stretch all around the musculature, fancy word, I'm just saying muscles, around your ribs and just help open them up a little bit more. I think we've done that for a minute. You can carry on if you like. I'm not the boss of you, or am I? I'm not. We're gonna get onto something called a Zenith Rotation. So I'm sitting back in my knees here and I'm going to plant my hands in front of me. If you can't kneel when you do this, you can just do it in a chair. It's the exact same thing. I know a lot of people have a problem with kneeling, so not that they're like against it for moral purposes, but maybe it feels a bit uncomfortable. So get a pillow on your knee or something. Get your hands down and then you're gonna lift one arm. Like sort of like you're gonna flex at me, all right? Just show off one muscle. Now I'm gonna get this hand, and you look at the way I'm putting it. There's a reason I'm gonna show you in a minute. So flex your gum, and then you're gonna take this arm behind you as far as you possibly can. When you start to feel the stretch all around your rib cage, you can take a really big deep breath. I'm a big fan of deep breaths, so you can tell. And as you exhale, you're gonna twist a little bit further. But hopefully what you'll notice what I'm doing with this shoulder is I'm pushing it forward. I'm wringing my spine out like a tea towel. Again, I'm gonna hold this stretch. Big exhale, twist a little bit further. I'm gonna do 3 big deep breaths in each position. I can count to 3, I believe in myself. And exhale, and a little bit further. And then you're just gonna come back. Delicious. It's like the opposite of threading the needle, isn't it? It's like the other way. I don't know what you call that. Stretching the needle. That doesn't have a good ring to it. If you've got any ideas what you should call that one, apart from the Zenith rotation, because I think it's a bit dead, let me know. So same on the other side, flex your gun, get your palm on the floor like this, and then you're gonna twist it round till you start to feel the stretch. This one's feeling a lot stiffer than the other side. May happen. This is also a key component of overhead mobility. So if you struggle to get your arms above your head, wave them in the air like you just don't care, this will be a helpful little cookie for you. So feel your stretch, use your breath, exhale, twist a little bit further. You might wringing your spine, pushing that other shoulder forward, not going too hard, just gently easing into the stretch. Another big deep breath, twist, and go again. I'm gonna go one more. And exhale, delicious. Because that is such a naughty stretch, naughty. We're gonna do it twice. You can do it thrice if it feels nice. You are the boss of you. Pause me, tell me to do one, shut up, or just repeat this more in your day-to-day life as you choose. So back to this side, flex your gun, twist it round, feel the stretch, push your shoulder to the wall in front of you, big deep breath, exhale, twist a little bit further. Don't get too tense, relax. I see you tensing, chill your beans. Have a nice cuppa after this, probably not right now. And I'm gonna do one more breath. I said I could count to 3 breaths, but I'm starting to doubt myself now. I think that might have been 3, but we're gonna do another for good measure. And hold, 1, 2, 3. Oh la la, shake it off, amazing. One more on the other side, and then we're gonna get into the downward doggy. Oi oi, I gave away my next move, should never do that. Okay, so flex your guns, twist, pause, breath, exhale, and twist. Sensation, I think that was 2. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Oh, amazing. Again, give me a nice little shake out. So next one we're gonna get onto, we're gonna get into the downward doggy. Pew, pew, woof, woof. Again, you will need some floor for this one. If you find your wrists are a little bit sensitive to being on the ground, by the way, you can do this on a wall, you can do this on a chair. The important thing is that we're gonna find some way we can introduce a little bit of this weighted sort of maneuver. Now, when I'm here, I'm on my all fours. Resist the urge. Oi, oi, I couldn't. I'm just gonna lift my knees off the ground. I'll show you a variation if this is all too hard, by the way. Lift my knees off the ground. And what I'm thinking is about pushing my butt in the air, bringing my chest towards my knees. But you'll notice I'm not worried about my legs because I'm working on my shoulders at the moment. I'm all about the shoulders. I just care about getting to the point where I can feel my shoulders starting to work, and then I'm gonna come back down. If you wanna straighten your legs and you find that easier, brilliant. What we're not looking at doing is dropping our chest as far as we possibly can. All right, we just go into this point where we start to feel our shoulders working, hold a pause, and then come back down. Again, you can do this on the wall. This is the wall, I'm sure you've seen one before, or a chair. I'm just gonna repeat this for a minute. If you find that way too difficult, all I want you to do for me is come back into a child's pose and then go from a child's pose into this cobra position, okay? That's all I want you to do. If you're feeling like a big time, keep your legs in the air and keep getting down with the doggy. Sometimes I wonder what I'm allowed in public. This is an amazing way of just building a little bit of coordination and strength in like your overhead ability, which for me, although I might have a bit of flexibility around there, I don't have much like stability, which is basically just coordination and strength. So again, we're gonna keep going. Oh, my timer went off, by the way, as in like it stopped. My laptop screen's gone dark. So I have no idea how long we're doing that for. You can keep going if you want. I'm gonna stop because I'm sweaty. I'm gonna catch my breath. But that is an incredible exercise to start adding in. And again, you don't need to have a floor to do that. So once we've done the downward doggy, I don't really think I did very many of them, but we're gonna move on anyway. We're gonna get into something called a prone W to Y raise. So really simply for this one, it's a delicious exercise. I'm gonna get on the floor, ooh la la. If you don't have floor space, by the way, then like, what are you doing in your house? From here, laying face down, all I want you to do is I want you to think about having your arms in this sort of, I don't know what, like you've got your hands up and you're in trouble. And then you're gonna think about lifting your arms up like this. Now, if you can't do this next bit, we can just break the movement into two, it's absolutely fine. But you can lift them up and you're gonna raise your arms above, go from a W position to a Y position. Amazing, good way of getting the lower back working as well and your neck. And then we're gonna come back down and we're gonna lower. If you find it impossible to go between them, I just want you to focus on this position and then we'll go into the next bit. So just going really nice and slow. The aim of the game here is to go like super slow-mo. What you're imagining, as I'll always say, you're David Hasselhoff, I'm Pamela Anderson, we're running down the beach in Baywatch, and everything is just slow-mo. We ain't trying to rush through the reps here. I'd rather you do one super slow repetition than do 10 running through it a million miles an hour. You'll likely feel all the muscles around your back between your shoulder blades working overtime and the back of your shoulders. It's just a sensational way of getting them puppies working overtime. We're going to go one more rep on my end. I don't know how many I've done. I'm going to assume maybe 10. That'll be enough for now. And down. Again, if it's impossible to do that all in one motion, I don't mind if you just go like this. Over time, as you get a little bit stronger, you'll be able to go a little bit further, feel a little bit easier without feeling as unbelievably daunting. Now, if you're still with me, how long have we been going for? I can't see, too far away. We've got one more exercise. We're gonna get a little bit harder with this one, but again, I'll show you a variation you can do if this is a little bit impossible. It's an amazing way, again, working on your wrist mobility, but taking our shoulders behind us into extension. Fancy words. That's flexion, that's extension. So, I want you to give me your best crab impression for this one. So I'm starting on my butt, my feet are just in front of me like this, hands behind me, with my fingers facing away. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my butt up as high as I can, so I make a tabletop. I kind of look like a crab, you don't need to move. Hold, take a big deep breath, and then lower down. Amazing. If you can't get as high as that, just go as high as you can, and then come back down. Delicious. We're gonna do 10 of these. I think I just can't count. I just can't count and talk at the same time. I need someone to just be like nodding at me like, yes, you've done this many. Because I've got them all written down in front of me, but I'm just not a reliable source of consistency when it comes to numerical information. But as long as you're still moving, I'm happy. Now, if all of this is just too tough, it's absolutely fine. Carry on, by the way. To just sit into this position, slide your hands back, push your chest out until you feel a stretch in your shoulders. If putting that pressure through your wrists, through your elbows, through your shoulders in that position is just too much, just use it as a chance to take a big deep breath, push your chest out to the world, ooh la la, lift your head back and feel a nice stretch for 30 seconds while we continue to build strength in this position. Over time, as you get a little bit more comfortable in this extension and just a bit stronger in general, you might just start here, just like pow. That's absolutely okay. Doesn't have to be anything too ridiculous at the moment. But over time, as you get a little bit stronger, just from exposing your body to these positions, soon you'll be busting out here and then be able to get all Billy big balls and do things like this, like woo, which is again, an amazing way of just building not only stability in your shoulder, but a little bit of what's called thoracic extension. I'm just showing off now. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope your shoulders are feeling lubed up like never before. I love you. Hope you join me for the next one.